I'm considering a career change. I think I've got what it takes to become a detective because I've been out there, I've been in the trenches, and I've managed to track down the handful of people who actually enjoy Starfield. I'm able to count them on this hand pretty much, and we're going to have a look at what they say because they're going to convince us that we're wrong. The game's actually good, we're haters, all of our grievances, they're unfounded, and what they say, it's going to be a game changer. It'll change our perspective on this great game. I will say that Starfield has had an update on Steam. It's not what you might expect. It's certainly not content. That'd be too much. They've only got 250 devs developing right now, maybe content in the future, but the update is that the reviews have changed from mostly positive to mixed. For the longest time, it was only the recent reviews that were mixed. It was the overall reviews still in that positive, that blue-coloured category, but now all overall reviews are mixed. And that's basically gamers saying, we don't like this. You've let us down. I think it's a great thing because too many times a game is obviously garbage, it's a cash grab, but it's only a small minority online who are criticizing it. Most gamers just go, well, it was okay, they give a thumbs up, or they don't review it at all and they move on, and the devs get away with it. Because casual fans come across the game, they say, yeah, it's mostly positive, I'll give it a shot. Not Starfield. People are making their voices heard, they've had enough of mediocrity, and they're not just gonna blindly buy the next Elder Scrolls title, Elder Scrolls 6. I've seen a lot of people saying they are not going to get it until Bethesda prove that it's good. Whether they redeem themselves and change Starfield, heavily patch it, not just wait for modders to do work for them, but fundamentally change the game. Maybe if they do that, someone will give them a chance. But that's going to be like creating a whole new game because Starfield fundamentally just doesn't work. Everything from top to bottom has just been designed poorly. The devs appear to be incompetent. Maybe Todd should retire. Maybe it's time to hand the reins to someone else. Let a studio who actually care about their IPs that have been sitting dormant for so long. Elder Scrolls, Fallout. We don't care about online Fallout. The MMO Elder Scrolls, I don't really give a shit about it. I just want single-player titles in those universes. Let someone else do it, or let other studios work on it, because what you're doing, it's clearly not working, except to a handful of people who seem to think that Starfield is gold. We just can't see it. And I'm going to show you this first person. This is the Starfield subreddit. You'd assume everyone here is big fans of the game. Not quite the case. There's actually barely any discussion about the game on here because when it happens, it is just people saying, yeah, it's no good, let's move on. Except for this. This is someone who has seen the light. They have finally figured out how to fall in love with Starfield. We've been doing it all in wrong. It's the player's fault. It's not the game. Come on, you've just got to approach it a certain way. This person was on the hype train when the game came out. I was so excited to play it, they say. I followed every pre-release announcement, I watched all the Starfield YouTube videos in anticipation, and when I finally got the game, I felt I had to experience everything there was as quickly as possible in order to decide if the game was really that good, if it was worth playing. They blitzed the main quest, and then the UC Vanguard quest, all of that side content. They fast-traveled everywhere. They were trying to experience it all. They wanted to take it all in. They didn't want to miss out. But because they did that, the universe started feeling small and empty. The game was unfulfilling. They put the game down. So it's because they were rushing around, guys. It felt empty because they weren't approaching things the right way. It was nothing to do with the game design. And the proof is in the pudding here. Because they say, I started back up again recently. This time, however, I'm playing slow, very, very slowly. I'm walking everywhere. So not running, literally just walking in the game, toggling walk on. They're doing that like a normal person would. This person is normal. They are certainly not someone who should get the white coat strapped on and check into their nearest facility. If they're finding ways to enjoy this game, surely that's not where that person belongs. But they go on to say they will only run if it makes sense to run based on the story. So if a wooden NPC comes up to them and says, we need to hurry because this is important. They'll run then, but that's about it. They're not going to just do it willy-nilly. That wouldn't be appropriate. They go on to say, I'm letting myself take in the scenery. I'm imagining additional dialogue in my head. Wow. This was the secret I was missing. You play Starfield, don't worry about the content that Bethesda put in the game, the weak writing, what everyone's saying. You just got to imagine it. You just got to think about what could be possible. That's how you enjoy it. Are you this fussy? Are you going to be an entitled gamer who actually expects them to put quality quests in the game, good characters? You don't need that. Just use your brain, just to imagine it. You can make it happen. You can choose to believe. This person has. They're having a good time. What is your excuse? That's it. You just gotta imagine it. I don't know what it's got to do with Starfield. You could play literally any game. You could do a pen and paper run in a board RPG outside of video games. You could do the same thing. You could imagine. You could roleplay. I think I was right about that white coat earlier, and they even do say I'm essentially role-playing, and by doing this, I'm experiencing the game completely differently. Going slow makes the world feel huge. I walked up to the top of a mountain. Is this Todd Howard on an alt account? I walked up to the top of a mountain. What did he say? He said, you see that mountain, you can climb it. This seems a little bit suspicious. This seems a little bit close to home for Todd. But he then says that he saw an interesting geological formation way off in the distance and decided to check it out. It took a good 45 minutes to walk there and back, but they enjoyed every minute of it. How could you not enjoy that? You see something in the distance, at least here on computer, I would look at it and I'd press the W button. Walking, by the way, not running. Don't go fast, you'll miss all of that great scenery. So just press the W button on the keyboard for 20 minutes. You get to the geological formation, and there's no mention of what he actually found there, which means he found nothing. So he took 20 minutes to get there, turned around, pressed the W button again for 20 minutes, got back to the ship. They say that I felt as though I'd just gone on a long expedition, and that made it meaningful and satisfying. Bethesda would be giving this person a round of applause because that's what they've been saying, that planets are designed to be empty. It's okay that there's nothing on them. Would you be bored if you flew to the moon? According to Bethesda, physically flying to the moon is exactly the same as playing Starfield. They're totally comparable. So I can see where they're coming from. This poster clearly is loving it. They're having such a great time. They're going to continue to tell themselves to slow down and enjoy the journey. The game's not going anywhere and they'll be playing it for years to come. What a good little consumer. That's the way to go. This next person, now they didn't necessarily enjoy the game. So again, I was struggling to find anyone who liked it. So I had to take this one. I had to use this one because it's a bit of fun as well. Now this person, they went to the casino. They didn't bet on red, they didn't bet on black, they bet everything, their money, their family, their job, everything they've got, they put it all on Starfield. And they go on to say, they're not joking, Starfield ruined my life. I wanted to take a week off work to play it on release, and my boss said no, so I quit. Then when it came out, my kids started bothering me and I screamed at them to leave me alone. That made my wife very angry. She took the kids and she left. I didn't care at the time because at least I could finally have some damn peace and quiet to play this game. But after a while, I realized that the game is fucking shit. Now my wife wants a divorce. I don't have a job. I gave up everything for this game. It's a very sad tale. It's horrible. Now, I don't know if it's actually real, but let's just say it is. Let's just say that this happened to this person. They've lost it all. They don't have a wife anymore. They're probably looking for a new lady in their life. Well, don't you worry, because Bethesda have the answer for that as well. They've recently released some new Starfield bed sheets. So if you're looking to seduce a lovely lass, they've got you covered. Pick these up today. Although, given the colours on the bed sheets, those lines that look like an LGBTQ flag, they might think that you swing the other way. So just be a little bit careful there. We do have something else as well, because you find these people especially on Xbox pages. Not so much Starfield ones, there's no real Starfield fans. It seems to be Xbox fanboys who seem to be blindly defending this game. And this person is comparing Cyberpunk and Starfield and doing their best to argue that Starfield is much, much better. It's in a much better state. And they say Cyberpunk, the game that launched ages ago in a far worse state and has had multiple huge updates and overhauls, versus Starfield, the launch-based game with nary an update since that is still going strong. Yeah, no. I like Cyberpunk, it's a good game now 2 years after it launched, but it is nowhere near as competent piece of development as Starfield though, regardless of which one you prefer. People argued with him, and then he said, guys, replies to me, then blocks me. What a shit cunt. Well, there you go. You can't argue with this. It's factually based. It is someone who has played Cyberpunk at launch. They've got some sort of memory block. They can't actually remember the state of that game at release because the content was there. The main story was there. It was pretty fun. The side quests, they were quite engaging. There was some good characters. There was great gameplay as well in all of the gigs. It was actually a pretty decent release on PC. Sure, it was buggy. It was unfinished, but the base of the game was actually quite good. You compare that to Starfield, I don't care about the bugs. I don't care about the lack of polish. I've dealt with that in Bethesda games for years, just about every one of their games. The problem is the fundamentals are garbage. There's nothing positive about it. There's maybe a quest line or two that's mildly enjoyable. Everything else, the foundation, it's built on sand. It's shit. But this guy must be the NPC from Phantom Liberty. There's one there that has his memory wiped, I believe, for a couple of years there. I could understand. If you can't remember what Cyberpunk was like, maybe that's why you've got some positive feelings about Starfield. The last one that we've got here, this person, they're not happy. This game has upset so many enemies of Xbox now, so it'll get years of support. Everyone I know who plays it loves it despite the bugs. Funny how such negativity abounds on social media though. I wonder what caused it. Oh yeah, this is purely a fanboy war. It must be Sony fans. They just can't hack it that they didn't get this masterpiece. They're crying. They're stuck with, what was it, Spider-Man 2, whatever else they've got coming out, God of War DLC. Oh, they're just upset. They didn't get Starfield, the greatest sci-fi RPG of all time, Todd Howard's masterpiece. Well, I hate to tell you, but most people who are not liking it, they're on Steam, they're on PC, they couldn't care less about what's going on in the console space. And they've spoken. Mixed reviews, the game's a turd. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for listening. Cheers, bye.